Hello guys, welcome back to the Debug Arena. In today's video, I'm going to talk about why and how we should use Context API in our React application. So first, let me show you why. So you can see here, this is my React application where I have created login, sign up, where user can sign up as a user and user can sign up as an admin, and my backend is in Node.js and I'm using MySQL as a database. So here I will go to login and let me just log in as an admin here. Once I do the login, you can see I have been navigated to this admin home screen where I'm getting the user details here. Also, I'm getting the user details here in the header. Both these two are the separate component. In the same way, I'm having another screen like this is admin home screen. I'm having the user home screen. There also I will get this data. So if I take you to the code, this is my app.js, and if I go to pages and inside this, if I go to user home screen, you can see inside the use effect, I'm calling this function which is hitting this API and getting the user details. But if I go to admin home screen, I am again calling here the same function to get the user details. And when I have got the details, I'm storing that in the session so that these details can be shared with the other components. So if I go to my headers and here you can see I'm getting my user details from the session. So if you notice here, there are three components which are not related to each other, and because of that I have to call that get user details API at all the three places. But that's not the correct way. To fix this, the context API comes into the picture. Context API helps us to share the data throughout the React application or throughout the multiple component whichever you specify. Like in context API, we will call a function which will get the data or perform some action, and we can share the data throughout our React application. So now let me show you how we can integrate Context API in our React application. Before moving forward, if you want to make this application, whatever I have shown you till now, you can go and check out my previous videos where I have made these things from scratch. And if you are building different project or you are just here for Context API, then also you can watch the video, it will be helpful. Now what I will do, I will go to SRC and let's create a new folder named as usercontext.js. Here I will first import React from React. After this, I will create a variable name as user context. This variable name you can give it anything, and I will assign here create context. Create context, it is provided by React to create the context. Okay, and my context name is user context. And at last I will export it. So for now you can understand this user context as a database or as a storage which will store whatever data you provide to it. Okay, now our storage is created, we have to provide the data. For that I will again come here and create a new function named as user provider. Okay, make sure we have to export this also, and in this we can perform whatever function we want. So I will go to user home screen and I will copy this function fetch user details because I want to fetch the data from backend. So I will come here, let's paste it here. Now if you go through this function, I am taking the token from local storage, so that is fine. And here again I'm using this that token, that is also fine. But here I am using this state set user data which is not present here. So let's first create that state. So I will come here and let's create a state user data comma set user data. Okay, fine. Also I will create another state name as error comma set error. After that I have to call this function to get the user details. For that I will again here call use effect. So you can assume this user context as a normal function, not user context, user provider as a normal function where you have to done so many things. Like in the normal function also I have written these things, so here also we can write these things. Okay, so it is no different from that. Just the additional point is that this user provider can share all of this data throughout the React application. So in this I will come and let's call this fetch user details, and I will give you a empty array. Now in this function, if my token is not present, then this will not execute because I am returning here. So for now I will just console.log here token not present. Now I will scroll down and now there is no need to store anything in the session, so I will just remove this. Rest I can keep it as it is, and in the error I can just set the error. Same thing here also. Okay, done. Now this user provider will have all these data like user data, user error, and also this function. Now how we can share this throughout the application? For that I will come down and here I will write return. Okay, and in this return I will call our user context, which is my variable dot provider. Okay, this is provided by user context hook only, and in this user context provider we can pass value. So whatever value you will mention here, it will be passed on to all the childrens. Okay. So in the value, I will specify user data, which is my state, my fetch user details. We can pass the whole function also, so that wherever we will access this provider, we can directly call this function from that page. Okay. And at last, I will pass here error. So for now, let me just not pass this function. I will show you the scenario in which we will had the need to call that function. At that time, I will pass that function. Okay. And here we can just pass the children. So that means whatever children we will mention inside this thing now, all of them will have access to these two data, and these children we will receive from our function, like here. So I will write here children. I hope you know this concept about the props and all. So our user context is ready. You don't have to do anything. You just have to come here and create the user context. This is like a storage. Now we have to provide the data to it. So that data I'm providing it like here. Okay, this value we are providing it, and this value we are getting inside this component, like by running this function. Now I will go to my admin home screen, because I am already logged in as an admin, and I will just delete everything, like this whole thing. Okay, this state also. Before saving this, I have missed one step. Like after creating the user context, here you can see we have to pass children here. For that, I will go to app.js, and here this is our router. Okay, so what I will do, I will come here and I will write here user provider, which is my function. Okay, so you have to add the here the name of the function, or you can say the component, not the user context. Okay, and I will just remove it from here, and I'm just wrapping all my router here inside the user provider. So this means that whatever data we have specified inside this user provider will be accessible to all of the things mentioned inside the router. So that's why we have mentioned here children. So now if you look at this scenario, all of these things inside the user provider are acting as a children, and they will get the data. Make sure to import this user provider here. Okay, now I will save this. Now I will go to admin home screen, and here I have removed everything, but here we want the user data. To get the data, so what I will do, I will just write here const, and this is I'm destructuring the array, and here I will write user data comma error, and this I will get it from use context. Use context is my hook, so I will just write here use context. It will be imported from React, you can see here, and in this I have to pass my context. And what is my context? My context name is user context. I have already told you this is like the storage, and in this storage these two values are stored, so I am accessing that here. Make sure this user context is imported here. Now I will save this, and let's go here, and I'm getting Axios is not defined. Wow. So let me just go to my user context, and here, where is Axios? Let me just write it down Axios, and it is imported. Again, save this. Go here, found object with the keys children. Let me again go to user context, and here this children is correct. Scroll down. Okay, here I have given two curly bracket. I will remove one. Okay, let's save this. Let's go here, and you can see, yeah, it is working fine, and I just have to do logout and everything. Okay, I'm here. Now I will open the console, and let me just remove everything. Now let me just open this, like open the console again, and yeah, this is open, and you can see here I am getting here token not present, and this token not present is written inside user context js 20. So if I go to here and go to 20, you can see I have console this. Currently token is not present because user is not logged in. But if you notice here that when my application got loaded, this use effect got executed. So this is the first point, that if you mention here use effect, then this function will get executed every time once your application gets loaded. Okay, like if I remove this, then save this, and now if the application, I will open the application again, then nothing will happen. So if I write here localhost 3001, nothing, you can see use effect run only, not this thing. Okay, so you have to add this use effect based on your requirement, but most of the time, yeah, it is useful, but you have to handle the scenario like I have handled here, that token is not present, then do this. Okay, now let me just try to do login and see what will happen. So I will go to login, and once I do login, okay, I am getting here cannot read properties of null reading name. Why it is? Can you guess it? If no, then let me tell you. So as I already told you, that this user context will automatically run using this use effect, but it will run only once. Okay, and when it ran, the token was not present. We got this error, and that's it. User context work was done. Okay, so now we have to make sure that whenever we are doing the login, we should call this function. So now what I will do, now I will pass this function fetch user details. So you can see here the need of passing the whole function from here. I will save this, then I will go to login. Once my user is successfully logged in here, login successful, and my token is stored inside the local storage, I will just come here, go to admin home screen. I will copy this user context thing. Okay, you can just write it down. Okay, don't copy and paste, but for me, let me just do that. So I will just paste it here, and I have to import user context and use context also. Now I'm getting here user data and error, but I don't need all of them. I just need fetch user details. Okay, then I will come down, and here after my token is stored in the local storage, I will call that function. Save this, let's go there, close this, go to login, and this time you can see when my application got loaded, I have my data. Why? The reason is last time I did the login, but it failed at the admin home screen, but in session this token got stored. Okay, and we didn't do the logout, so the token is still there, and my application ran. First time user context ran, and I'm getting the data. But for now, let me just do the login again. I hope you are understanding this flow, like when it is running and how we can integrate it so that we can get our data properly. And you can see this time I'm getting the data properly, and this use context also ran for the first time. Okay, so this is how easy we can share the data throughout our application. But you can see once I logged in, this header didn't change. Why? Because I have not integrated context API there. So now let me just go there, and there we have logout also. So I will just explain one more scenario there. So you can see currently I'm doing everything like this much thing just to get the user data. So for now I will just remove this user data state. I will remove everything. I will keep the logout function, keep the navigate, and I will remove this set user data. It is setting to null, but we have removed the state, so no issue with that. Now I will copy paste my context API, and here I will just import both my context and use context. And now I will do nothing, just save this. Then I will go here, and you can see my data came here. So context API is integrated in this component also. But now there is a catch. If I press on logout, what happened? If I take you to my local storage, you can see there is nothing because we have cleared it up. Like in the logout function, we have written that local storage dot clear, and then we are navigating here. But data is still there. Why? Because the data is still present in the context. We have not reset it. And how we can reset it? So for that, what I will do, I will again come here, and we will go to user context. You can see here I'm storing the data inside the user data and sharing that thing. But how we are storing? We are storing that in using this set user data. So what I will do, this is my state. I will share this state also to all my other component, so that they can manipulate my user data whenever they want. They can change it. Like if we have an update function, okay, and we are updating the user data, there is a need to call this function and to set new user data. So to tackle that type of situation, you can share all of your main things to your React component, so that everything will be very easy. Now I will go to header.js. I will come here, and I will just uncomment this line set user data, and I will import this set user data from user context. Save this, again go there, and now I will press on this logout button, and you can see it is gone. Just one more thing, like this user context is going to hit the API and get the user data, so there can be a time gap between that. So either you can implement one more thing, that is loading, or what you can do, you can add a condition like this, that if user data is present, then only render your UI, otherwise null. Because sometime you might get the error that name is not defined, because user data is not having a data at that point when this application is loaded, because the fetch API is still going on. So that's it for the context API. Just one last thing, like if I go to my user context, and this is my fetch user details, and you can see here what I'm doing. I'm sharing the token, and here I am receiving the response and setting the data. In the same way, if I go to login, I am doing the same thing, and I am using the to success login successful, and my success response is response.data.success, and my error is in this format. Same thing, I will go to sign up. If I scroll down here also, I have written the same condition. So there are lots of duplicate code. In the next video, I am going to remove all of these things by integrating interceptor in my React application. What it will do now, it will create a basic structure for your API so that you don't have to write this code every time. Whatever response you will get from whatever API, it will directly show it inside toast.success or toast.error. So this much code will be removed from your application. So if you want video on interceptor, then please let me know in comments. I hope you have understand each and everything about context API. Thank you for watching the video.